Today, in history, the year is 1969, and America is on fire. Not from war, not from protest, from its own rivers. On January 28, 1969, a Union oil platform off the coast of Santa Barbara, California, blew out. 3 million gallons of crude oil poured into the Pacific Ocean. It killed over 10,000 seabirds, dolphins, sea lions, seals, washed up dead on beaches that families had picnicked on the week before. The images were horrifying, and they ran on every TV screen in America. And it wasn't just the ocean. In Cleveland, Ohio, the Cuyahoga River had caught fire. Not once, not twice, 13 times. A river, on fire. The water was so thick with industrial waste and oil slicks that it burned. Time magazine ran the story. The photos shocked the nation. A country that couldn't keep its rivers from burning was being forced to look at itself. Senator Gaylord Nelson of Wisconsin watched those images, and something broke in him. He had been trying to get Washington to care about the environment for years. Nobody listened. Pollution was just the price of progress. That's what they said. But Nelson had an idea. He'd seen the anti-Vietnam teach-ins, students shutting down campuses to protest the war. What if he did the same thing for the planet? He announced a National Day of Environmental Action. Set the date, April 22nd, 1970. And waited. Nelson had the idea, but he needed someone to actually make it happen. He found a 25-year-old Harvard student named Denis Hayes. Hayes had never run a national campaign in his life. He dropped out of school, moved to Washington, D.C., and built a grassroots operation from scratch. He recruited 85 volunteers. They called it Environmental Teach-In, later renamed Earth Day. 1 senator, 1 college kid, 0 budget, 20 million people. What happened next stunned everyone, including Nelson himself. No social media, no smartphones, no viral campaigns. Just flyers, word of mouth, and raw anger. 20 million Americans showed up, 10% of the entire United States population. On a single day, on college campuses across America, something extraordinary was happening. At the University of Michigan, 50,000 people gathered for a week-long environmental teach-in. At Harvard, at UCLA, at Howard University, professors canceled exams. Students built makeshift stages and lectured each other about ecosystems, pollution, and corporate accountability. These weren't just protests. They were classrooms without walls. A generation teaching itself what their textbooks had. In New York City, they shut down Fifth Avenue, one of the busiest streets in the world. No cars, no taxis, no noise. Just 100,000 people walking slowly, quietly, together. Mayor John Lindsay stood among them. Even Wall Street paused. A city that never stops. Stopped. Washington couldn't ignore it. Not everyone celebrated. Major corporations fought back. Oil companies, auto manufacturers, chemical plants. They called it radical, anti-American, anti-progress. Some ran full-page newspaper ads defending their pollution records. Others lobbied Congress to water down the incoming legislation. But the numbers were against them. 20 million voters had just made their position clear, and politicians for once were paying attention. On December 2nd, 1970, President Richard Nixon signed the EPA into existence. Not because he was an environmentalist, because 20 million people had made it politically impossible not to. The Environmental Protection Agency, born from a river fire, an oil spill, and one extraordinary day in April. Here's what those laws actually did. Before the Clean Air Act, air pollution was killing an estimated 200,000 Americans a year. 2/3 of America's lakes and rivers were unsafe for swimming or fishing. Before the Endangered Species Act, the bald eagle was nearly extinct. Today, the bald eagle soars over all 48 contiguous states. Today, most American rivers are fishable, swimmable. Today, millions of premature deaths have been prevented. Numbers don't lie. April 22nd, 1970 saved lives. Millions of them. Today, Earth Day is observed in 193 countries. Over 1 billion people participate every year. It is the largest civic event on Earth. And it started because one senator saw a dying ocean and refused to look away. We talk a lot about changing the world, about waiting for the right leader, the right moment, the right movement. But April 22nd, 1970 is proof that the moment doesn't arrive on its own. Someone has to call into being. Gaylord Nelson called it. 20 million people answered. What are you waiting for? This has been Today in History. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And we'll see you tomorrow.